Storybooks are there to teach your kids to be good. Jonathan Livingston Seagull or Little Riding Hood. But comic books are cooler. Zombie horror, traveling blue boxes, Spike and Buffy Angel if we absolutely must.
Ew.
The name's Samantha Maybe. I'm a Loki-loving Whedon lady.
Don't you call me Sammy or I'll punch you in the face.
Really?
Comic Sans.
Do you miss Buffy the Vampire Slayer? I know I do. So let's cure our collective sadness with a review of Buffy, Volume 2. You may remember me mentioning that this volume features some of the work of Brian K. Vaughan, the writer of Saga. However, that in no way saves Volume 2 from the wrath of Samantha Maybe. You'll understand why in 3, 2, 1... Faith.
Faith is still working for the good guys, but there's plenty of distance between her and Buffy. She apparently gets the difficult jobs, like icing child vampires, because you know she's more than a little homicidal. After a challenging job, she is greeted by everyone's favorite watcher, Rupert Giles, horribly stereotypified in a yellow submarine sweater.
This is going well.
Giles tells Faith that he has an important job for her. He needs her to kill a Slayer, a living, not undead girl, who goes by Lady Genevieve. Genevieve, or Gigi, as her buddy Rodin the Magician calls her, begins her relationship with the audience by killing another Slayer with nothing but a slap to the face. Clearly this is a girl to be feared and not loved. We also discover that Rodin has some tie to Twilight. Two rather tedious scenes follow, one in which Giles attempts to train Faith to be a lady to infiltrate a big gala at Gigi's manor, and another in which Buffy tells Xander about a bad dream, and then we see...
Wait a minute! Is that the Doctor and Rose? No, seriously, it totally is.
Cool. Anyway, then we see Faith all dressed up, and Giles says something that makes me want to wash his mouth out with concentrated hydrochloric acid. Faith gets into the party and tries to mentally prepare herself to kill Gigi, who makes no effort to endear herself to anyone. By the way, Dawn is still a giant. So Faith goes to have a smoke, and Gigi finds her on the balcony. They start to have a chat, and they have a lot in common, surprising no one. Rodin's gargoyles grab Faith, then she destroys 2 of them, then passes out. She wakes up in Gigi's bed, despite Rodin's encouragement to kill her. Gigi, in typical Buffy villain fashion, then explains that she wants to kill Buffy and take over control of the Slayers.
Does anyone else just not care? I'm doing my best here, but I can only work with what I got. Faith gets all pissed off because she realizes her mission isn't about saving the world, it's about saving Buffy. So she decides to hang out with Gigi and they have some quality bonding time. Buffy and Willow are working on some security for their fortress when there's an explosion and Buffy disappears. She's transported to Gigi's manor where Gigi plans to kill her. So, Gigi and Buffy fight. Faith jumps in, right when Buffy's about to finish off Gigi, and they go flying into a swimming pool. Then Buffy and Faith fight. There's this big internal monologue in Faith's stupid head about how she has to remember how deep Buffy cut her, and to use that as motivation to kill her. She doesn't. She becomes depressed and pathetic. Willow manages to pop Buffy back to the fortress, and Gigi comes at Faith with an axe. Before we move on to part 4, I want to discuss how stupid this is. Aside from it just being one catfight after another, the idea that Faith is currently upset about Buffy trying to kill her back in Season 4 is a bit odd to me. After the events that transpire in Season 7, we're given the impression that they're okay with each other. There really isn't any indication that Faith wants Buffy dead anymore. They're certainly not friends, but we're led to believe that that transgression is somewhat forgotten. To me, this is just stupid and plot devicey, and I don't like it. So after a morbid flashback to Faith in the mayor, Gigi and Faith fight, Faith kills Gigi, Giles comes to help, he kills Rodin, and they call it a day. In the meantime, Buffy called Giles and got angry because she wasn't informed about Gigi. Faith and Giles head back to Giles' place and discuss what Faith is going to do next. she's gonna put down her weapons and help some of the new Slayers, which may be a good thing for her. It seems that since Giles isn't on good terms with Buffy, he's going to pal around with Faith for a while. Sexual overtones abound. After that mental image is burned into your brain, we finally get to see Twilight, a floating dude in a weird mask who says that he wanted Gigi and Rodin dead, and that everything is going according to plan. So that's the end of the No Future for You story arc, which I had sincerely hoped would end with Faith's death. But as years of further comic books have demonstrated, she is still alive. Those are comics I will never read or review, so don't ask. There's one more issue in Volume 2, but this one's a bit odd. Buffy and Willow are off on a journey to meet a being called the Cyphrillian. On the flight there, we become privy to a couple of their fantasies, which is out of place, poorly explained, and fanservice-y. Please make it stop. Oh look, Willow quoted Doctor Who. Okay, I'm happy again. Buffy and Willow go into a small shack that is indeed bigger on the inside. They meet the Tchidget, who begins to show them visions of the future, or at least the potential future. He tells them that their current paths will lead to the end of magic. He also tells Buffy that she will experience some kind of major betrayal, become a jewel thief, and that Willow will, well, have some quality time with her goddess. We then see a dramatic dialogue about how Willow feels that she chose Buffy over Tara, and she won't do it again with Kennedy. Buffy and Willow destroy the Tchidget and are blown out of the realm they are in and head back home in opposite directions. It seems like Buffy and Willow may be walking separate paths for a little while, though I can tell you that certain elements of the Tchidget's foreshadowing were scarily accurate. The majority of this issue was just a whole bunch of drama. There was this whole side story thing with Xander and Dawn, but who cares? Willow is troubled, and everyone's worried about Twilight in the future, blah, blah, blah. So, did I like this trade? Even a little bit? No. It was just one catfight after the other with some fancy magic thrown in and shoddy character development, bordering on the uncanonical. There were a couple of Doctor Who references though, I liked those. Overall, it just sucked.
There, you see? Buffy does suck, you said so yourself.
You again? Wait, why are you even watching this if you hate Buffy so much?
Never mind that. You just said it sucks, so don't come on my fucking show and tell me that—
Hold up there, Jimmy.
It's Jimmy D.
Hey, what with a who now?
I am Jimmy D. That other guy is just a fucking hippie nerd.
Why, just because he wears glasses?
Actually, it's because he eats vegetarian pizza. Of course it's because he wears glasses! You can call me D if that's easier for you. But yeah, Buffy sucks.
Stop distracting me! I never said that Buffy sucked. I said that Volume 2 sucked. And you know what? Yeah, the vampires in Buffy are kind of lame. They have a lot of weaknesses and they don't do a very good job of organizing themselves, but Buffy isn't about that. Buffy is about the portrayal of a message that anyone can be a hero. Even the most seemingly worthless person can rise up and save the world once in a while. It's a story about overcoming the poor hand that life has dealt you, finding a way to accept it and even make the best of it. Buffy's life is legitimately terrible. She's been to hell and back and heaven and back. She's seen the best and the worst that this life has to offer, and she's still a pretty okay chick. So when I say that Buffy is awesome, I hope we understand each other.
Yeah, I guess she's pretty cool.
But Faith sucks. Can I finish my review now?
Yeah, sure. But I'll be watching.
Getting back to business. Maybe if I liked Faith at all, I would enjoy this volume. Some of her internal thought process is interesting to read, but I personally do not find it compelling or interesting. I just don't like her. I also felt as though Buffy was a major side note in Volume 2, which is fine because Faith is obviously meant to be the focus. However, it almost felt as though they forgot to include her at all, so they just threw her in for one random fight scene, and then excluded her for the rest of the story arc. I would have preferred if Buffy wasn't involved at all and was completely unaware of the situation with Gigi. There could have been other less forced ways of revealing Faith's identity to Gigi and making them fight, Gigi die. All that bringing Buffy into the picture really did was make her angry with Giles, and no one wants that. We finally saw Twilight for like 1 page, and who knows, maybe he'll actually start to have his own part in this story sometime soon. Have no fear, folks. Season 8 gets better, and then worse, and then better, and then weird, and then awesome. So just stick with me and we'll fight our way through to the awesome. Until next time, I'm Samantha Maybe, and I still hate Faith. Later.